Hi, Sam.
Hey.
So what'd you think of the talk I gave last time? Was it at all anything you guys might be interested in?
I think it was really interesting. It would give a kind of a less practical, different perspective on workload identity. We tend to have I mean, when you like heads down on a project, you usually have a very, I mean, you can have a narrow perspective on things
Hmm.
because you're trying to solve a specific set of problems. Sometimes it's a small
Yeah,
set,
yeah,
so you kind of lose the not
yeah.
lose, but you don't care about the bigger picture.
Right. Well, the thing for me is uh it's it affects you as far as your ability to address a market, because I really do believe that unless we harmonize uh, traditional and confidential workloads, I will be limited to niche scenarios. I really do believe that. Now, it could be mistaken belief, but I'm in the trenches trying to put this thing in, so whatever. Like my opinion might count for something. But at the same time, you're not in position to really do much about it unless you build your own verifier. And building a verifier is a very, very big lift. Like to build a
Yeah.
commercial verifier and make money on it is a big lift. So I am now reaching out to folks at cloud service providers. So I'll be talking to them and say, we need to build a verifier that does this.
And whom?
And
You're reaching out to whom, Mark?
cloud service providers. So the
So,
Microsofts,
Mark,
Googles of the world.
yeah, Mark,
Yeah.
just to add, I just joined late. I don't know which context you're talking about, talking to cloud service providers.
Oh, so okay, the context is, so it is my belief that we need to harmonize identities, so the format of identity for legacy and confidential workloads, something
Yeah.
that RATS today does not do. RATS is far too low level in terms of the claims that the attestation results presented to the relying party are.
Mhm.
And because of that, like I gave presentation to Rivos, where Sam leads the effort on containers, and I basically gave my talk, which is, by the way, very much in the Twix draft. It's just in a text format. I gave a deck, right? And their response was, "Well, what do we do about it?" And you know, uh, like not much, unless you're building your own commercial verifier. There's not much you can do.
We're not
But
Mhm.
Mark, for the context. I mean, we're not building our own commercial verifier. I believe that I don't know if there's huge opportunity for people making money out of a verifier. I think it should be commodity.
yes, I do. I agree with you. I agree with you. I believe verifiers need to be like DNS. Um, and I think we just lost Sam. His video froze.
So, basically, uh, we are working on the open source project Verizon.
Yes, yes.
So we work with cloud providers who have taken our code base and internalize the
Hmm.
verification, especially, or teams from
Yeah.
Oracle have done that.
Uh,
So,
no, that's excellent. It's just I'm saying it's a big lift to build a verifier. So if a team
yeah,
wants
it's a
to deliver
complicated.
confidential containers, it's not in something that they ought to be doing because it's well, for one, it would drain a significant amount of
Well,
resources, right?
so
Yeah.
we actually did what Trusty is partly a verifier among other things.
Mm.
We're trying to make it a not complete because it's never complete. It's a really daunting task building a complete attestation service stack, including verifier, including the ability to plug into something like Verizon or commercial verifiers, because we realized that offering a guest software.
Oh boy, Sam's connection is really bad. Uh, okay. Look, I think um, we need to postpone this discussion until after we submit the informational draft, because we literally have this meeting and next week's meeting and then it's going to be past the deadline. So we're like really down to the wire here. So what I wanted to do today is I wanted to go over this write-up I have. Let me hold on. Let me just do the usual. I'll put the link to the meeting minutes in the chat. And Sam, I absolutely love that you're joining us here. So thank you. So meeting minutes are here, and the Twix draft, courtesy of Hank, he named it.
No, I've been working on that draft, not Hank.
Oh,
So
but the naming I thought came from Hank. But anyway, so there is this document here that I basically was writing yesterday. If you're going to start making changes, put your suggestion here, and let me share my screen. I'm still waking up here. It's 6 a.m. So that's why I'm a little slow. All right, here we go. So you can see my screen now, and I'll tell you what, the motivation and goal section, we will have to probably do offline, not in this meeting, just because this is not where the meat of the thing is. This is just the pitch that I've polished, that I use to convince or try to convince folks that RATS is really not helping commercial, you know, like large commercial shops, because it's trying to motivate harmonization of legacy and confidential workload identities. This is the section I want to focus on today. That's the available options, and this is where the bulk of the attention for people like, so what are we going to do about the problem is. So if I ask that we spend the next perhaps 10 minutes with folks just going over the text, start putting your comments in, and then we'll discuss how to get this polished enough so in a week's time we'll be putting finishing touches on it. So there is a diagram here, and then this table down here I will be converting into swim lanes.
And just to let you know, last week I said I would write, Hank asked that I write a few paragraphs about the mesh. I pasted 3 paragraphs at the bottom of this document.
Okay.
I don't know if it's helpful, but one of the things that I realized that in our architecture, because we have this alpha verifiers network that is hierarchical, the identity of attesters as the leaves of these things is essentially just like in a genealogical tree. It's basically it's naturally built into the lineage. The parents basically is the natural identity provider to these children, to its children. So I think there's something there that's kind of interesting in the concept of, if we agree that all attestation verification ends up being a composition verification with multiple attesters, multiple children, then it's only natural that the identity of the children come from the parents verifier.
So
this adds an argument
we'll make it option number 6.
Yes. Well, I mean, it adds an argument to the flow that you had written, that it's really the verifier. The identity comes from the verifier.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a natural, side effect of a hierarchical verification network.
Fair enough.
So guys, I don't think I'm going to stick around if that's right. I just kind of popped in. Unless there's anything specific you'd like from me, very happy to have a look or do something. But
so what we need right now, so Hank, we have today's meeting and we have next week's meeting, and then it's going to be past our deadline for submission. That means we need to finish the work on this draft within effectively
so
between
this
this
is Mike,
week.
not Hank.
Oh, Mike, yes. So review of the Twix draft, that the link is in the meeting, is what we need, online or offline. All your comments.
Could you put it in again, because you don't
Oh,
get
you
to see
don't.
things before
Yeah,
you joined.
of course, yeah.
And I'll have a look at that now offline, if that's okay.
Yes.
Okay, I'll have a look at that right now. Okay,
All right.
folks, I shall see you around. Have a good one. Bye.
Take care. Bye.
So I just my general comment is this. I mean, it's good. The Mark, yours thing is good as a storytelling, but when we translate it into a draft, we need a concise and a crisp problem statement, how we solve it, what are the use cases it is applicable, and that kind of thing.
Okay, so feel free to
Yeah.
propose suggestions. It's just that
Yeah.
in this case, I believe it didn't occur to people that the problem we're trying to solve is really harmonization of confidential, non-confidential identities. Now, it could be as short as that, right? But that text is what I arrived at to motivate why we need this. But right now, let's focus specifically on the options because that's the thing that we're trying to sell.
Sure.
And then, yeah, for the final draft, we'll probably, you and I and Hank will probably be doing a lot of offline work, getting, pushing it through.
Sure.
Yeah, sorry, this is Henk. I'm also on this call, but I recently joined only. I have to apologize for my lack of bandwidth the last week. I'm basically traveling every week until the IETF, which is not a useful thing to do, but unfortunately I have to do. I would agree with Yogesh early estimate that you need this Columbo approach. At the beginning, you highlight a problem, a context problem, and the murderer. So all is basically revealed at the beginning, and that is a little bit missing. The abstract is crisp, but it's not going into what the document will in the end deliver. And so to do that, typically you go with one or two user scenarios, and then you derive the gap, which is basically the requirement to be filled. That is the gap to fill is the requirement here, and then we go with the text we have. So I'm telling you things you probably all know. So sorry for highlighting the obvious. Having said all that, my time is really scarce. I want to help. I am traveling, for example, tomorrow on a train, and then I can try to address a few of these items.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Sounds good. Look, I very much will listen to your input. We'll structure the draft in whatever is the best for IETF's consumption. I just want to make sure that today we'll go over the options section, if actually the solution, because I was able to find 5 different approaches in which this goal can be achieved, which I summarize in the table below. I want to just go over that. And if we agree on that general thing, everything else will fall into place. And I already told my boss that I'll be busy for the next 2 weeks specifically with this. It's going to be one of my biggest priorities. Like I am carving out the time so we can get this done. But I will need help with the mechanics of it for sure.
Yeah,
I'm trying to identify a part of 5 things and only find parts with 2 or 6 things. So I'm not sure.
No, it's the stable.
Don't worry, Hank. I will be able to help Mark on this because yeah. So
the non-available is a no. Okay, I see. And thank you, Yogesh.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry that I'm so busy. It's really a pain in the neck. So we're reading table unnamed and have to understand what it means and agree with it. That's the mission right now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, whether we agree on the general shape of the options for solving this. Okay. And if we agree with that, documenting it and drawing pictures around it, swim lane diagrams, all of that will fall out.
What do I do? Them Google Docs. How do I suggest a change?
In the top right, there is this, where you can go from editing to suggesting.
Thank you. Yes, of course.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. So in general, all these items seem to be more or less precise and correct, but they do not highlight what problem is solved. So
The
just
problem that is solved, and this would go back to here, right? So
it's more above.
we'll need to wordsmith this, right? So ultimately, there is a work here, the statement here. This is about manageable and deployable workload identity, and we're basically saying we need to harmonize, I guess.
So
Let me see.
workload identity issuance, the identity credential issuance is anchored onto RATs, right?
Correct. This is the statement. This is the key thing.
And maybe highlight this because we need to
Yeah.
kind
So
of keep this in focus as to what are we presenting
absolutely,
here, what
this
problem are we?
if I were to distill that entire preamble to one sentence, it would be this.
Yeah, I think I have a similar statement in the document already, but yeah, have a look in the draft. I've issued few sentences, but this is just a very beginning. But you made it right. I think we are trying to harmonize the way credentials are issued to a workload which is running in a confidential computing environment.
Well, it's how they're issued, but more importantly, how they're expressed. You know, like how they're issued is probably harder to harmonize because there is no attestation for, regular workload credentials. But for confidential workload credentials, you have attestation, and yet you need to, the end result needs to be in a format similar so that your relying parties can benefit from certain properties.
Yeah, that is a benefit for the relying party. The problem we are trying to solve is for the relying parties.
Well,
That
it's a benefit to whoever deploys confidential
workload.
workloads. Yeah, but
Mm,
if your relying parties are too fragile, you can't get work done, so you don't do it.
But ultimately, the relying party is the one who wants to take some decision based on the identity, right?
Not only, but see, another key element of this write-up is this sentence. Oops. It's that most of your data exchange is going to happen between workloads. So not only are most workloads, need identities so they can participate in exchanges with relying parties, but also they are relying parties themselves. Vast majority of workloads never talk to a human.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're now half past the hour. Can we then quickly go over the feedback here? So proof of possession. I will accept this because I think this is probably the right thing to say. Any objections?
I'm mumbling to mute. Credential key is introduced in the text before, so that's lucky. It is somehow in the weeds, but it is at least introduced, so you can refer back to it. Maybe it should be more prominent. So the term credential key is used once in the text above. Thereby, it is introduced, but it is not introduced great. I will make it pink so you can see it, and then we can, or whatever the color that is, then we should maybe highlight that better because it seems to be very essential to the table below.
Yes. No, it's actually here.
Then it's called differently even. Okay.
So I'll just say credential key. So now it's defined, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I will.
Okay.
We can probably say, like, how we always capitalize.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Then that will be your definition. Good feedback. Okay. So Hank, here, evidence kind of parrots evidence here. So do you just want to make further changes here?
Yeah, we can harmonize the phrasing, but that's it, I guess. It's important that we know who what is the attester here, and it's obviously the workload. So the workload instance is the attester. So having added that to the left,
okay,
it's a little redundant, but we can certainly say
that's good.
No, this is the wrong place. Sorry. Yeah, okay, this is fine. It's actually very Good. Second is fine, not available. It's fine. So sending out the public caution of a asymmetric encryption key is just that, or is that also a pub key signed with private key, so it's a proof of possession? How do you think this?
There is a potential security vulnerability here because it allows forwarding, but the idea is only whoever has the corresponding symmetric key can decrypt the results. See, here's the thing: there are more there are more different scenarios hiding in here that I simply didn't want to go through. So, I don't know, those of you who know TPM inside and out, there is a way of basically saying generating an asymmetric key pair, an encryption key pair in a TPM that will only be decryptable by that same TPM if the PCRs didn't change. So you can basically say, here's a bunch of PCRs and here's my public encryption key. And then if any PCR changes before the response is received, the TPM is not going to be able to decrypt it. So there's no proof of possession. It's sort of inherent in the way TPM operates. And I didn't want to include it here because we could always put additional revisions in here. But there is no proof of possession because encryption keys are not something you sign.
But the example is very tangible. So maybe we should, you could write that up down below somewhere, because I think that's an excellent example how to access a PCR and why that is helpful here. So the signing key of a PCR. I mean,
perhaps it's there could be another role, but it's kind of it's a fairly esoteric use of a TPM. I've only seen it done once, but it's certainly in the standard, and I've seen it used commercially once.
Yeah, that's a nice trick. So just for understanding this better, but it's not a necessity. If you don't like that to include it here, that's fine.
Okay, I'll put the comment in here. Probably not going to be my highest priority for the first version of this draft, but I may put something in the securities consideration around this. The problem with encryption key not being signed. Okay, so now we have just over 20 minutes left. I have one sort of technical question. If I want to include this diagram in the draft, do I need to do ASCII art like in RATS, where it's all done using like pluses and dashes and vertical bars?
The unfortunate answer is yes.
Okay.
Yes, but we have tools. I can help there.
Yeah, could you please? Like
Yeah.
I'm prepared to spend a lot of time on this in the next 2 weeks, but I could still use all the help I can get.
Yeah, let's pencil it.
For backwards interoperability, texts RFCs are still published, so there must be an ASCII art text. And the typical procedure is if you draw it in a specific way, you can use a tool to create the SVG format.
Okay.
It's
SVG, and we'll be able to do swim lanes, right? From from the language in the reference architecture, right? It should be possible to use that to generate swim lanes in the IETF draft.
Sorry, what? Generate 2 lanes?
So so in the reference architecture document, and this I want to steal some of this for the main, once we agree on the substance. Remember this? We did that with Mermaid or whatever it was called, the tool.
Yeah.
Right. So that, if I put it through the Mermaid tool, it renders as this. But my understanding was I could take this sequence diagram, this text, and I could put it into the IETF draft, and it would somehow render as part of the document. Is that still true?
Not to my experience.
Not to my
Maybe it
experience. I
does.
think it's ASCII art. We need to
Oh,
render it in
God.
ASCII art.
Oh,
Don't
God.
worry.
Yeah. Oh God. Exactly.
It is
Okay.
painful, but we are here to help.
Okay, well then I will focus on creating the sequence diagrams, and then I will ask you, Yogesh, to put it through the output through the tool so it can be included in the draft text.
Yeah.
As
Fine.
I
I
think
think we need to review these sequence diagram as well carefully. Have these been reviewed in the team?
I mean, we've looked over them, but it would
Mhm.
not hurt to look again.
Yeah.
And again, it's draft number 1. If you get something wrong, people will
Mhm.
comment, we'll fix it. There'll be draft number 2. Like I just want to make sure it's in spirit and in principle correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so let me for a minute before I forget, I want to switch gears because I was approached about something, and I want to I was approached in an email yesterday about something related to this working group. It is why am I not seeing it now? Let me see. I don't know what happened to it, but it was somebody asking me to do a presentation on this topic in Spain, in Malaga.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I've got
God.
an
Malaga.
That's a global
Happy
platform.
Granada. Yeah,
That's a global
GT?
platform.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go. Global platform,
I got
right?
an invitation as well.
Tono
So,
Aspinall basically said, "Do you want to?" And they said, "Well, it's the workshop is on 15th of October. I could attend remotely. I'm just wondering if anyone here is going to be at that conference and wants to speak on our behalf."
No, I'm so booked.
Mm, I'm doubtful about I will be presenting on this conference for sure, but virtually because I've got a slot. If they asked me for a presentation request and I've said I will present,
Yeah.
but travel physically, I'm not sure because I'm
Well,
not sure whether I will get the travel
do
budget.
this presentation also, or?
Yeah, I mean, if you are there, feel
Well,
free to.
I do not I don't necessarily want to fly to Europe for a day from the West Coast.
Yeah.
It's a heavy lift. And I was just in Spain. So if nobody here wants to, it's 20th of November.
Yes. Do you want to present remotely though?
I can, unless somebody else here wants to.
20th of November. Somehow
Yeah.
I got October 15th. I don't know
I
why.
need to confirm your interest by 15th of October.
Oh, I see. November
So
20th.
So Mark, what is the title of the presentation? What are we presenting in that?
It's an attestation workshop. Objective of this workshop is to help guide the next stages of our work towards interoperable attestation, both within the global platform ecosystem and those adjacent to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they want me or someone else from the consortium to present views on interoperable attestation, which is kind of this, right?
It is kind of this. Yes. I will have to check one blocker and then I might say yes. Give me a second. What are the events here? The events are under news. I have one late November thing that is ending. No, that's not it. That's starting November 26th. So that's after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do November 20. Yeah. What's the time frame? Is it like
2 to
15
5,
minutes?
2 to 5 p.m. is the workshop. I do not know how much of that you want to be like. That probably needs to be
Jesus.
discussed.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I'm sure they don't want you to speak for 3 hours, but it's 2 to 5 p.m. local time that day in Malaga.
Yeah, I will not be there. This is already on my vacation time, but I can do a presentation. That's not a
Yeah.
problem.
I mean, you carry a
Yeah.
lot of gravitas with your rats work, so I'm sure it would go over well. Okay, I will forward this to you, Hank, and you can.
Me as well. Me
Okay,
as well, Mark.
I'll include both of you. If anybody else on the call wants to be included, please let me know. All right, so now with 15 minutes left, let's plan how we're going to land this ship. So next week, I think we should have everything in GitHub, I would say. Right, so we need to basically take all of this content, transfer it into GitHub, and I will commit to having all the swim lanes done for that. Now, Yogesh, can you move this content into GitHub, or do you want me to?
Let's do it together, Mark.
Okay, that's fine. We'll coordinate offline. Now, I hear comments that this preamble is too long and it needs to be somehow like reformatted more for IETF.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's leave this text as is. I might find it useful elsewhere, but let's figure out how we're going to state this correctly in the preamble for the informational draft.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll move the options and the swim lanes and the pictures all in there. I don't hear any significant concerns with this, except that Manu will say something about the hash meshes version of this row, right?
Seems to be busy.
Okay, that's fine. I'll ping him. Okay. I don't think there's anything else we need to be doing right this second. But so next week, this time, we'll be going over and doing sort of GitHub style review, because hopefully it will be close to finished, ready to submit.
Sorry, I was on the phone. Mark, I did hear my name mentioned.
I just mentioned that we will be transferring this into GitHub. So by next week, we'll be doing sort of the final revision. And you said that you want to perhaps add some thoughts to this particular variant.
I didn't think about it this way, but I could. It's actually Hank, you had asked a couple of paragraphs from me last week. I put something all the way down. If you scroll down all the way down, Mark, of this doc, I put some paragraphs there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll have to figure out a way of integrating your vision.
Exactly. And it may be a better idea, in fact, to do a variation on that option 1.1 or whatever you have.
Yeah, that's fine. But we'll probably need your active participation to get that done. Okay. So, and again, I would say this is version 1 of the draft. I think the important part is it gets conversation started. It should not come out as impossible or incorrect. But if it's like missing detailed security considerations, I mean, some shortcuts can be taken. So, because again, we're pressed for time. But with that, if we don't have anything else, I will see you guys next week, and we'll coordinate extensively over email.
Makes sense.
All right.
Makes sense.
I'll
Thank
try
you.
to join next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you all so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.